All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well, and honors and salutations to you brothers out there laboring and rightly dividing this word and doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much, we're gonna get into the topic that us as the hopeful members of the elect, we out there to bring in the fold because we represent the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's vineyard. Like going into that parable that Yahweh Shai spoke as far as, the laborers that he hired to work out in the field. Well, that's what we do as far as, when we go out on the highways and hedges. For those that believe on the word of the prophets, bringing out this truth, that they can be filled. So, go ahead. Actually, you know what? Just start at Matthew the 20th chapter.
Okay. This is Matthew 20. You want to start at the top?
Okay.
Matthew 20 and 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
Okay. So that man that's a householder is Yahweh Shai, and he's hiring the hopeful elect, those that is called to this ministry for the body, to be laborers of his vineyard.
Verse 2. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard.
And that penny, represents the payment as far as, receiving this truth and hopefully being elected to receive the kingdom of heaven. But pretty much it's going to get into the point that you have to labor all the way to the end until the work is completed to receive that penny.
Verse 3. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace.
Right, because where do we go out to in the marketplace? We go to the chief place of concourse, where, Jake and all the other nations is walking about. That goes back to that precept where this generation is likened unto children sitting in the marketplace. We're that children sitting in the marketplace that's piping this song and this word onto you, So, others that's standing idle, those that are standing idle, those are members of the hopeful elect that hasn't been called in yet. Go ahead.
It says, verse 4, and said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the sixth and ninth hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle?
Right, because right now we're at the 11th hour. That's why you're seeing more and more Israelite camps, popping up all over the globe, because this word is more and more going forth, and it's going to be fulfilled for the all of 144,000, which is 12,000 of all 12 tribes being sealed in the Book of Revelations, the 7th chapter. So, and it takes nothing for the Most High to, at the last minute, just call all of the elect and seal them in at the last minute before the last trump.
I want to put out this meaning real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Because idle actually means to be basically just standing there, just standing around. This is idle. It says lazy, indolent, slothful, work shy, shiftless, sluggish, inactive. So when you go to a venue, you're supposed to actually work.
And that's the reason why, the Apostle Tahar put out that decree, for 3 sit-downs a week, because, we're supposed to be productive and, business-like concerning this truth. It's to help us, to make sure that we increase our talents twofold, fourfold, or tenfold. Some give that increase of that some 30-fold, some 60-fold, some 100-fold.
Okay.
But you know, it also goes back to, you know, as far as how you mature in this thing, as to whether if your spiritual mind is that good ground that this word that was sown in you can give that increase, you know. So over the course of time, as you develop in this truth, you're going to increase in your talents, and that's when you're going to yield that increase, you know, for you to be meat to be, you know, for the Lord's use as far as being a use to the body, you know.
Okay. It says of a person spending time doing nothing. It says be idle. That was Google.
Right, because what else you got to do? As far as, you know, working your job for Esau, that's secondary, because Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua attends to all our needs as long as you in the faith and you doing what you're supposed to do. So as far as your free time, you should already be thinking about, okay, well, I want to go into this lesson, or, you know, I want to be working in scholarship, studying and researching this as far as what pertains to the scriptures or history and prophecy that I can bring edification to. You know, because the scriptures say, covet to prophesy and be apt and ready to teach.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And it says, St. Matthew 20, verse 7, it says, well, I'll read 6 again. It says, and about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, doing nothing, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle? They said unto him, because no man had hired us. He said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, unto a steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. You know, you know, that gotta be a deal. That's a nigga, man. I think we get more, man. What you mean? You know, I hired you for this. I gave you this penny to do what you do. And that's what I offered, and that's what you gonna receive, because you agreed to it. Right? You know what the what you call it, the stipulations was, you know, before you done the work. It says it's like this. You know, you go to a job and they offer you $10 to do this. Now, if you agree to do it, don't complain about it later. You deserve more. You the pay rate. Okay. It says verse 11. It says, and when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, being Yahweh Shai, you know, saying, these lads have wrought but 1 hour, worked but 1 hour, you know, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and the heat of the day. You know, it's just like, you know, you gotta have brothers come in at the last, you know, hour, or they ain't labored, you know, for years. It may just come in. But that's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's will. Man, they ain't been out here. We've been out here for years. You know, they gonna get the same reward we get. They get saved too. You know, and man, look, man, they being saved, man. You know, you being saved. Shut the fuck up. You getting the same reward, man. Man, what's your problem? You know, pretty much. You know, it says, verse 13, but he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Does not thou agree with me for a penny? Like I said, you know, do you not agree to the terms? All right. Take that thine is and go thy way. I will give unto this last even as unto thee. I'm going to give him the same thing I gave you. Okay? Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own?
Right, because it's Yahweh Shai who draw that same man that labored at the last hour as as opposed to the guy that's been laboring in this thing for years in the first place. It was Yahweh Shai. It was through the spirit of the Most High Yahweh, because Yahweh Shai said, "No man can come unto me except the Father who has sent me draw him." You know.
You gonna tell them?
So yeah, exactly. Like you gonna speak a word against Yahweh Shai as far as him redeeming you, and you've been in this faith and you've been an integral role all these years. Yeah, you're gonna speak against the man that came in at the last hour, and that was the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Plain and simple.
You know, we just want, because the whole point is for the 144,000 to be sealed and for us to get immediately the fuck up out of here. Not for the 144,000 to be sealed and then they have to keep on laboring continuously for maybe a number of more years till Yahweh Shai comes. You know, as soon as the elect is sealed, we all agree we want to get the fuck up out of here.
Good. I was gonna say, you know, he's the employer, we're the employee. You don't go to an employer and tell him what should go or how things should go, and what he should pay you. He set the terms. So this is what I got to offer for you doing this job for me. So you can say, well, thank you for the offer, but I'll look for another lady. See, Yahweh Shai is that employer, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're the employee. He's the master. We the servant. All right.
All right. I got a quick precept on that note too. It's John 15 verse 16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you.
Yeah, Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai chosen us. You can't wake up like them fake ass wacky tacky Christians say, I've woken up this morning and I decided to accept the Lord in my life.
All right, because, I mean, I know when I was called to this truth, you know, I was still a Christian out in the world, you know, in that Christianity doctrine, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to start going to church more to seek the Lord more. But no, through the medium of YouTube and through the elder apostles, you know, and videos that brothers who knew the truth about us being the true people of the Lord, you know, I woke up. You know, the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, blessed me to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Have mercy on us.
Yeah. It says, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. All right? So that's what we out there laboring for. We out here to bring forth fruit unto righteousness, you know, through Yahweh Shai, and our hope is that he will make us his chosen kings and priests over the whole earth, over the nation of Israel and over the whole earth, you know. And you know, as far as, you know, what does it say that we bring forth fruit, you know, because the fruit is, you know, basically, you know, bringing in our works, bringing in a hopeful elect, you know. So,
I got one. It says, verse 14 again says, Matthew 20:14 says, take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? Verse 16. So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. Okay, that's good.
And this is 1 Corinthians 3. I'm going to start at verse 5. Who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe? Right, because, you know, us, that's, you know, we're just vessels unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know. I'm not worried about being highly esteemed as you know, this great teacher, you know, because I'm not trying to seek the preeminence You know, I'm just trying to be a faithful servant to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Okay.
And, you know, as far as casting that reed out, you know, to fish for the elect, you know, that's what I'm called to do. That's my purpose, you know. It says, but even as the Lord gave to every man, I have polluted. I have planted. Apollo's water. Yes, I have planted. Apollo's water, but the Most High Yahweh gave the increase. Right. So, you know, it's all in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai at the end of the day as to, you know, who is sealed at what time, you know, who believes on faith and who endures unto the end, you know. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase.
Okay.
All right, because, you know, going back to that parable about the sower sowing the word, which we might bring that out, you know, as a matter of fact, you know, I might even get that next. You know, it's up to the Most High as to if that seed that was planted and sown is going to grow and flourish, or if it's going to be rooted up, you know. And, you know, you see, and going back to that parable, you know, a lot of guys endure for a while, but then, you know, that seed becomes corrupted, and then it has to be rooted out, because it's going to pollute the rest of the vineyard, which represents the spiritual body of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know.
Appreciate it for you. Real quick, it says Colossians 1 and 29, this is Paul speaking. It says whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily. And his is talking about Yahushai, because Yahushai gave Paul the layout of the work that he would have him to do. You know,
right.
He instructed Paul. Paul took him instructions and did the work.
And what was Paul's gift and office? He was a preacher of the gospel to the Israelite foreigners, or who was known as the Gentiles. Because when you look up the word Gentiles, it means foreigner, you know, or stranger.
Okay. That was a big job.
And, you know, going to the fact that Israelites that were spread abroad in these other nations' lands, as far as, you know, doing Greek and Roman customs, that were, you know, readopted back through the gospel of and the truth of Yahweh Shai, you know, dying and resurrecting, you know, so that way they could be brought back into the fold and the covenant of Israel, you know. You got more on that?
No, that was it. Go ahead.
Okay, it says, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So, you know, that's the reason why you know, we want to strive to, you know, go hard for this truth, you know, because, you know, we really want to receive that reward, you know. You know, we don't want to be the guy that's being idle, that the Lord had distributed one talent or maybe even two talents, but not making full use of those talents to increase, you know. For we are laborers together with the Most High, and ye are the Most High's husbandry. Yeah, and the husbandry goes back to planting and sowing.
Okay.
You know, it says, ye are the Most High's building, according to the grace of the Most High, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. Because if you lay the foundation of a building, then you got some other guy coming along, basically fucking up the whole layout. That's going to dismantle the work of the whole foundation. That's why motherfuckers that come up teaching false doctrines like Cornelius being the Edomite, Mystery Babylon is the Vatican.
Yeah,
you know, the earth is flat. You know, just being a nigga. I mean, or
that's like
only only the Negroes are the 12 tribes. All this other bullshit. They gonna destroy the foundation, man. You know, they need to be rooted out, man, because they're a hindrance to the building.
Mark them what you call division.
They're a hindrance to the building of the house of David. You know.
I'm laughing because you got to be a fucking nigga. See, what happened was, them Fallout bug outs, they learn the truth. And that's why they teaching lies now. In order to tell a lie, you gotta know the truth. Alright?
Right. And I mean, I classify them as Americanized Israelites.
As niggerlites.
Right.
You want that parable sword?
I mean, really, I can't even call y'all Israelites. Y'all just American niggerlites.
Yeah. That's real.
Because how you gonna learn this truth and then know about our salvation and our deliverance taking place on this side of the world, hoping to be delivered into a chariot, yeah, you teaching that America is not Babylon all of a sudden. You know.
That's willful ignorance. Okay.
That's not teaching according to sound doctrine. That's not rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yep. You want the sword parable? Whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
You want right now?
Yeah.
St. Matthew 13 and 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth. And forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away.
Right, now root is Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai represents the vine. You know, I'll get that quick precept just so I don't be paraphrasing. The scriptures always say it best.
True of all things. But, you know, I mean, you know, and y'all, man, that's another subject, man. You know, you can't never, you know, look over that madness, man, because you supposed to defend the gospel, man. Go ahead, because that, man, that's just, man, it just really I laugh because it just really piss you off inside, man. Go ahead.
This is John 15:1. I, the I being Yahweh Shai, am the true vine, and my Father is the husband.
Hey. Yeah. I guess you're under the vine. You know, not
right. If it is not of ISUPK, it is not of the Lord. You know.
I guess the vine got to be them want to be Israelite tribe and fine niggas. You know, I guess y'all the ultimate. You know, everybody got to come under the ITR. You know, for the breakdowns. Go ahead.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away.
ITR.
And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Great millstone.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine.
Yep.
No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing.
Great millstone was established by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Does not great millstone bring forth fruit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? Does not the elder apostles do the work?
And they rule well, so the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is on them. You know, so
undeniable.
They have been chosen to be the overseers of the nation. You know.
No.
So they got to be part of that royal priesthood.
They got to be that one that branch that brings forth good fruit. Read that part again.
I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and
go up, Slocky, go up. Before that.
All right, verse 4, John 15:4. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
So, the other apostles, They're abiding in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And those who follow the true doctrine that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gave them, or gave their elders, and then revealed more to them, alright, we abide in that same doctrine. We abide in that same truth. Go ahead,
Right. That was the point on that one.
Come. Back in Matthew 13, you want the rest of that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, and when Matthew 13:6 again, it says, and when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. You see a lot of camps that, that you thought that may have the truth, they withering away.
Right.
You don't really hear about them no more.
I mean, for one, you got all these different Israelite groups, but only Great Millstone is out there on the highways edges laboring year round through the spirit and power and name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Mm-hmm. In season out of season. Verse 7, it says, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
And you can't do this work unless you got the inspiration of the spirit on you to do it.
Verse 8, but other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, and some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
Can you read that part one more time?
Come. It says, verse 7, it says, and some fell, it's like it, verse 8 again, but other fell into good ground. And
right,
brought,
that good ground. That good ground that that seed was sown into that good ground in your spiritual mind,
Come. It says, but other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit.
Right, that means when this word was sown in them, they Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, steadily increased them because they were diligent and they were faithful in this thing.
Okay.
And they grew the fuck up, putting off that old man.
Yep, putting off that worldly shit. That you still see these guys in Israel that they still have it, man. Man, it piss you off, man, because we've been truly blessed, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has truly blessed us and have mercy upon us to give us this truth, man.
I mean, and seeing other brothers, before I went out on the highways and had just started doing this thing, just seeing other brothers that's been laboring in this thing, when other Israelite camps started popping up, you seen the growth in these men that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua had brought them to. Mm-hmm. They steadily increasing. They bringing forth fruit. That's them increasing that 60-fold to 100-fold.
Okay.
That's
it. It says, let's finish up the scripture. It says, but other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
Okay.
I had that other precept too. I remember when I first woke up, man, to this truth, man. When Yahweh Bashim Yahushua sent his men to me, man, I was amazed, man. I'm still in awe to this day that you have such great men that been given this knowledge, man, and that gives it to us freely, man. It's very humbling, man, to say the least, man. It is very humbling, because it's a bitch walking up and down these sidewalks not knowing, which way you're gonna go. This is 1 Thessalonians 1 and 3. Man, Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua just quicken you, man. You instantly come alive, man. That life just spring up in you, man. Boom. You just alive, man. You feel just revived spiritually, man. That is, man, the best feeling that I had on the side, man. And be able to go out and do this work, man.
This is well, I wouldn't say it's an emergency, but I'm going to bring it up. This is 12 and 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. But to think soberly according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Good.
Right. I mean, because it was the Most High who gave you this truth in the first place. You received it through the apostle elders, a great millstone.
Mm-hmm.
Or hell, you may have even learned of this truth, let's say through IUIC. You know what I'm saying? But it's through that measure of faith that the Lord has given you to continue, is to, if you're going to stay in this thing unto the end.
Okay.
You know, so it would behoove you not to become proud or seek that seat of preeminence, you know.
Okay. 1 Thessalonians 1:3, it says, well, I'm starting 2. It says, we give thanks to the Most High always for you all, making mention of you in our prayers, remembering without ceasing your work of faith and labor of love.
Remember without ceasing your work of faith. All right, because without faith it is impossible to please Him.
Okay.
You know?
And labor of love and patience of hope in our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, in the sight of Yahweh and our Father. Verse 4 says, knowing, brethren, beloved, your election of the Most High. You know, so
yeah, your calling.
Yeah, come. And you gotta work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So you got to constantly do this work, man, and know that, man, you can't put this plow down, man. You got to keep plowing. You can't put this plow down, man. Why would you want to put the plow down? We right here at the end. Because you put this plow down, man, that's your ass, man.
All right, you just gonna wait for the missiles.
Yep.
Wait to get chipped up and blown to pieces. All right. Oh yeah, Luke.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah. Luke 9.
Yeah. This is Luke chapter 9, and I'm gonna start at 61.
We'll close on this.
And another said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. You know, I mean, this was, you know, a guy who was seeking to follow Yahushua, but, you know, he was worried about, you know, what was going on with his family, you know.
Looking back.
Right. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. All right. So once you take hold of this truth, that's it. I mean, you're supposed to run with this thing full course until onto the end. You know, year round, week in and week out.
In season, not a season. All right. And with that, I want to say all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and taught us truth. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I want to say under salutation to you, Akim out there, doing the work of all sincerely. It's from the Grand Arabs camp. Shalom.
Shalom.